Can you hear me? Am I audible to
Yes,
everyone?
sir. Yes, sir.
I believe the students are from all the three branches. Am I right? Yes, civil, mechanical, and CSE.
Yes, sir.
Next time onwards, please be in time. I will start the class at 1:05. I think we can start. First, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Pranjal Tamble. So, I'm going to teach you the course. This is Essence of Traditional Indian Knowledge. So, this is a zero credit class. So, there will be total 10 classes. So, I have to cover all the syllabus within 10 classes. So, please be in time, or also please be attentive, and please respond if I ask it. Okay, let's see the syllabus first. Can you see the Word document?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay, so there will be five in there. So unit 1 to unit 5. So in unit 1, I'm going to discuss about the introduction philosophy, its different branches of philosophy. What are the what do you mean by Indian philosophy? What are the different forms of Indian philosophy? That is orthodox Indian philosophy, non-orthodox, and what do you mean by heterodox philosophy? And what is culture? Also, it's a very important thing. What do you mean by culture? In the next unit, I am going to discuss about the Indian literatures, Indian languages, and cultures. And the next unit is dedicated to the that is religion and philosophy. There, I'm going to discuss about different religions of India. What are the philosophy of ancient India? All like this, all these things. And unit 4, I'm going to discuss about the fine arts of India. So here it includes this Indian paintings, Indian handicraft, music, and divisions. All the divisions of Indian classical music, and drama, dance forms, different dance forms, and how science and technology evolved in ancient India, medieval India. And in unit 5, we are going to discuss about this educational system of India, the ancient India, medieval India, modern India. What are the aims of these education systems? What are the languages they taught? What is the scientific form of ancient India at that time? Who are the science and who are the scientists of medieval India? So today we will start this first one, that is the introduction of philosophy. So let's start. So first unit is yeah. Can you see my slides?
Yes,
My,
sir.
No,
yeah,
sir.
my slides are visible.
Sir,
There,
screen is visible and we are able to see the syllabus only.
can you see my
The
slides?
syllabus. Sir, we can see your
No, sir,
slides,
it's the
but there
same
is
only,
only
sir.
syllabus.
Okay, okay. Now can you see?
No, sir.
It's still on the syllabus. It's showing only the syllabus, the units.
Let me reconnect. Can you see it right now?
Yes, sir.
Can you see my slides?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very nicely, sir.
So first of all, what do you mean by philosophy? So this philosophy term is coined by Socrates. This was a very great philosopher of his time. He was born at 469 BC in Athens, now in Greece. So the philosophy what comes from these two syllables, that is philo, that means love, and sophos, that means wisdom. In other words, the philosopher word means it's a lover of wisdom. So one of the interesting fact about Socrates that he did not write anything down. So whatever lessons we get from the Socrates, it's it's from this one of this written by the one of his disciple, that is one of his famous disciple Plato. So who wrote all his dialogues, all his lessons in the written form. About Socrates, he actually questions everything. He questions what do you mean by gods, what whether their gods exist or not. Because of this, he is not liked by many of the people, and ultimately he was accused of corrupting the youth, and later he was sentenced to death by poison. So, what do we actually study in philosophy? Actually, philosophy is the study of general and fundamental questions about existence of knowledge, the value, reason, mind, and language. Such questions are often pose a problem to be studied or resolved. The term was probably coined uh, by Pythagoras. Actually, in ancient time, all this knowledge we get it comes under the philosophy. It also include there's astronomy, psychology, biology, all these things. But 1,000 years later, so we have actually disintegrate all these branches of that is called these are astronomy, philosophy, biology, physics. We actually study individually. So, so there are different parts of philosophy. So, if you see in this tree, so it contains different branches. That is idealism, realism, logics, epistemology, ethics, metaphysics, cosmology, theology, and aesthetics. So, in between, in among this, so there are four main parts of philosophy. These are uh, epistemology, logics, ethics, and metaphysics. So we are going to discuss elaborately in, in these four topics. So what do you mean by epistemology? The term is derived from the Greek word episteme, that is knowledge, and logos, that is reason. According to the field, is someone referred to as a theory of beliefs. The theory of, especially with regard to the methods, validity, scope, and the distinction between justified belief and opinion is known as epistemology. So, if you see this Venn diagram, so one is one there is the blue one is belief, the red one is truth. So, what is the intersection of the truth and belief that is we call knowledge? For example, say there is some belief, somebody believes that art is wrong. There is somebody who believes that art is fair. But how can you know this which one is knowledge? So that is the truth part. So what we can prove and what is the truth that is art is wrong. So that the yellow one, that part is the knowledge, that is the art is wrong. So in this way we can uh, actually differentiate between truth and the belief. So ultimately, episteme is a study of knowledge. It is primarily concerned with what we know about the world and how we knew it, how we know. So there are some basic questions that deals with epistemology. What is knowledge? What do you think is knowledge? Do you know anything at all? So what we say that is that things we know, whether they are right, whether they are wrong. So we don't know. So how do we know what we know can be justified claiming to, and how can we claim certain things that this thing is right? So uh, next another division of philosophy is metaphysics. This metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that examines the fundamental nature of reality, including the relationship between mind, matter, between substance, attributes, and between potentiality and actuality. While Aristotle's work covered a wide array of topics, there are two underlying themes too, which many have pointed as a constituting essence of metaphysics. The first of these themes is the study of first cause, or in other words, that which does not change, or from which emanates the thing in the world we experience. The interest in first cause is why God has been prominent topic of metaphysics throughout the history. The second theme is study of being existent, in which an attempt is made to identify the real and delineate the fundamental categories of being. So, what actually does it mean? So, it is actually the study of nature of reality of what exists in the world and how it is ordered. This this is the meaning of all this paragraph. So there are some fundamental questions that deals in metaphysics. These are: is there a God? What is truth? What is a person? What makes a person the same throughout the time? Is the world composed of strictly with matters? What is soul? How mind is related to body? Do people have free wills? What is for one event cause the another? So, if you see, the metaphysics deals with very abstract nature of our reality. So these questions are very abstract in nature. So sometimes even philosophers are very confused whether there exists some answer to these questions or not. So one of the prominent grounds under metaphysics is ontologies. The ontologists will try to determine whether such things are things as properties, numbers, events, relations, souls, material objects, or universal exist. If universals they exist or not, if they do, what are the characteristics of such things? Next branches of philosophy is this is logic. What is the meaning and key concept of logic? Logic is one of the major branches of philosophy, which is commonly understood as the science or study of correct process of thinking or reasoning. Broadly construed logics, therefore, is that specific branch of philosophy that studies the process of correct thinking. Uh, Etymologically speaking, that is how this word origins. The logics is derived from the Greek word logos, who is often translated in English word as word, discourse, or reason. More specifically, when we study the correct process of thinking or reasoning, we are necessarily dealing with arguments. And in logics, uh, we will be primarily dealing with principles that govern the validity of argument, that is, whether a certain conclusion follows from the given premises or assumptions. So basically, what it speaks, the logic is mainly arguments and reasons for people to answer some certain questions. When we answer certain questions, how do we know whether there is a logic or not? If we can provide some reasons, arguments, and proofs, that is basically logic. So this these branches of philosophy deals with the question, general question, that is, what constitutes good or bad reasoning? How do we determine whether a given piece of reasoning is good or bad? So this is broadly speaking the logic means. The next form of philosophy, that is ethics. The ethics, also called moral philosophy, the discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad, and morally right or wrong. The term is applied to any system or theory of moral values and principles. The ethics deals with such questions at all levels. Its subjects consist of fundamental issues of practical decision making, and its major concern include the nature of ultimate value and the standard by which human action can be judged right or wrong. So basically what it says, the study of ethics is often concerned what we should do in certain situation, whether what we are doing is right or wrong. And some fundamental questions that deals in ethics, that is what is good, what you the things we do, whether it is good or bad, what makes certain actions of a people is good, and another question is what is right, what makes actions right. Also the morality of a certain action, where it may be subjective or objective, and we have to study whether it is morally right or wrong. So different people may have different opinion about their morality things. So another important topics in it comes in topics that how we treat other peoples. So when we treat someone, so whether it is morally correct, whether it is right, all these sorts of questions are comes under ethics. So this is the general divisions of philosophy there, but apart from that, there are some certain specific division in Indian philosophy. The Indian philosophy, what we call, it is actually in Sanskrit, it is called darsanas or darshan shastra. Refers to several traditions of philosophical thoughts that originates in Indian uh, subconstituent, including Hindu philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, Jain philosophy. It considered by Indian thinker to be practical discipline, and this goal should be improve the human life. So this goal of Indian philosophy is mainly how can we improve our human life? How can we improve our mind? So these are the main concerns of Indian philosophy. So there are two parts of we can divide the Indian philosophy in two parts. And the first part is called Astikas. These are the people who accept the Vedic authority. They think that whatever written in Vedic, they are the um, main essence of Indian philosophy. And there are certain type of people who don't consider this as the Vedic knowledge are the roots of the Indian philosophy. So they there are certain division in these individual sections also. So yeah, I know these things are a little bit boring, but this is the new course that is introduced by AICT. So you have to don't worry about this exams or this class notes. I provide them and upload them in the groups. Just listen to my class, follow my class note. I think that will be sufficient for you to pass this exam. So, do you have any questions till now?
The quality of your sound is poor.
Yeah, because of some network issue.
Sometimes we cannot hear the word clearly.
Yeah, due to because of this network issue. Okay, I think this will be it for today. So next class, I'm going to discuss all these different divisions of Indian philosophy in details. You please put your attendance in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You put your attendance and the meeting.